You are very inappropriate.
I like being inappropriate.
BROADScast is entertaining.
Come on, if I can't mess with you, this is not going to be fun.
BROADScast is thought-provoking.
That is a riveting revelation, Ms. Goldman.
BROADScast is unexpected.
Who do you like better, the person that people think you are or the actual you?
Oh, God.
Because they're nothing alike.
Broad topics, broad minds, broad hosts, but not just for broads.
We are man-friendly.
I hope to be.
I am man-friendly. I can't say the same about Kim. Wait, that sounded bad.
This is BROADScast with Kim Goldman and Jackie McDougall.
Welcome to BROADScast.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, Broad Squad. What's going on?
Hey.
Isn't it we've been doing this how many, like 120 episodes, and it's like, what do I say? How do we
Do you get nervous before we go live? Do you ever get nervous?
I do actually. I get a little nervous because, unlike a lot of podcasts out there, we don't edit.
Oh.
We very rarely edit. And so I just a huge shout out to people who've been listening to us via radio for quite some time. We have actually decided to drop the whole radio side of things and just podcast because it gives us a lot more freedom and ability to go as long or short as we want, not have to worry about any of those rules.
And we can say adult words.
We can say grown-up words. But also it gives our guests the option or the opportunity to just be themselves and say and not have to monitor themselves or edit themselves. And so we find it to be, it works for us to not edit the show. So yes, to answer a very long answer to your question, I do get a little nervous sometimes because, we make mistakes. And
yeah, this is just us though being naked. Like we're just naked. And so
here we are naked in the studio.
No, but I mean I kind of like it because I'm not worried about like saying something and if we screw something up, it's just like that's how our normal conversations are, like in real life.
Totally. But what I like too is that you and I have outside lives, whether it's with our kids, but also professionally, and you're out there doing your Crime Watch Daily and you're speaking and you're, really making a huge impact. But I love watching you come into this space and let your hair down and just be Kim, like that broad, and not the one who has to inspire. And I think by not trying to inspire, you inspire even more, if that makes any sense at all.
Oh, thanks. That's nice of you.
I'm just noticing on that end. And I just think, we get to, my husband and I were talking about podcasting and podcasts last night, and he was talking about how sometimes when you're so busy and you've got like kids going on and life going on, or just whatever it is that you have going on in your life, that you get in the car and you get to listen to a podcast where two people are just talking or more, you can kind of feel like you went out for a drink with somebody without
right.
Kim, the dog, damn it.
You know what?
He's like, Ray, don't edit.
So this is so today, speaking of us having lives, you and I are not in studio together today. So I am babysitting my dogs who cannot decide if they would like to be in the house or out of the house. So when they're in the house, of course, they hear the yapping chihuahuas next door. And then they see squirrels running or birds or just air, basically, causes my dogs to have conniption fits. So then they bang on the door and it's just a hot mess. So they're either going to bang on the door inside the house or outside the house. So
Right.
Yeah.
So I love that you said babysit like you're a guy. You're babysitting your dogs.
My kids. Oh, yeah.
Hey, so couple things. Number one, we always continue the conversation after the show in our Broad Squad group on Facebook. So please join us over there. Just hit, facebook.com. I mean, if you don't know how to get to Facebook, we've got bigger problems than joining a group.
Do you remember the days when you used to have to say www.facebook?
People still do. And they're like, follow us at. But the group is called Broad Squad. I mean, you can always follow our Facebook page, BROADScast there as well. But I think you get a lot out of that Broad Squad group, and talking about some of the topics we discuss on the show, we can talk about them after. Because we want to hear from other people and I was talking to someone earlier who said she listened to our recent episode and we were talking about Ivanka Trump and the dress and the whole thing. And we talked about that in the Broad Squad group. And she was like, yes, I was leaning forward in my car, like wanting to agree with you, So now you could just go in the group and talk amongst us.
Wow.
Pretty exciting.
Good for us. It is very exciting.
But also you can subscribe to us on iTunes and wherever you listen to podcasts. But
this is the self-promotion part of the show, people.
Well, it's the way to listen to, because I realize it's less self-promotion and more like, oh my gosh, we have had like 100 incredible broads and some bros on our show over the past couple of years. And there's so much information in there. And
right. But if they're listening to us now, haven't they already done one of the things that you told them they could do?
Not necessarily, because you could be finding it through a tweet or Facebook or I'm just saying every Apple iPhone or iPad has that podcast app on it. Just find that app, search BROADScast and hit the subscribe button. And then you don't have to ever go find us again anywhere. So anyway.
And if you're like part of the other side of the world who uses the Samsung, Jackie was really good about creating a little map to find the podcast app on the Samsung. So if you go to our page too, I think you put up those images. So
yes.
The second class Samsung citizens
say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, which I happen to be. There is a pathway for you to get to us there too.
Yes, because there's like Google Play, Google Music Play. There are podcasts there, and we can do it there. So, all right, now we need to get to our topic. So let's have our voiceover guy. Hold on.
And now, Broad Topics.
Thank you, Andrew Bowen. Broad Topics. So, we got to talk about the fidget spinner.
Oh gosh,
it's like,
yes, we have one in our house.
You do?
Yeah.
It's the new
my
bottle
son
flipping.
Me. Oh my god, is it though?
I don't know. Talk to me.
Do you know what the fidget spinner?
Why don't you tell everybody?
My son comes down. So for those people that listen, my son is a teenager and can't be bothered with me anymore. He has reached the age where everybody else takes his time away. However, when he wants something, he is very chatty, very loving, and very communicative. So my son came down on a weekend after I begged him to watch basketball with me. He didn't want any part of it. He came down and showed me websites about the fidget thing, flip it, fidget, whatever, how much it costs. He was trying to, cajole me into buying him one. I'm like, I'm not buying you one. I'm like, here's a rubber band, spin it around your finger. Like, yeah, that's the look I got, the hooking and and he's like, but yeah, it did not work. And so by the end of the half an hour, my son was too cute for school that I ended up agreeing to let him buy the stupid thing with his own money, however. And he shipped it from Fidget King USA.
Fidget King?
Fidget King.
Fidget King.
It was the longest week of our life. Every day, Sam was tracking it on USPS.com, wanting to know where it is. He was telling me that it was in Georgia. Now it's in Alabama. Now, he was tracking. He could not wait to get the stupid Fidget King. So the Fidget King comes. He's jumping up and down. He opens it up. Fidget Splinter. Yeah. And he told me that if I keep calling it the Fidget King, that people are going to make fun of me. So, so he gets the fidget spinner and he puts it. He's like, look, and literally, it's a piece of plastic that he puts between his two fingers and it spins.
And it's everywhere.
That's it.
Everywhere.
Yes. And he says, Mom, it's for kids that have ADHD and, it helps with your attention span and with focus. And I'm like, so does tapping on your knee. So does flicking your fingers. Like, why did you need a fidget thing for $15?
Wait, you paid $15?
$15.
Wow. It's funny because I've been seeing this discussed and how it's being banned in schools because, it's driving teachers crazy, which, something that started as a tool for maybe a kid who has to kind of do something to stay focused. Right. We all had that kid in the class who would click his pen, over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe a tool.
Nervous thing.
Yeah, but a tool that could help. But it's funny that people are so up in arms. So I just ordered 3 of them because they were like $7 and who cares, But it's funny how people are getting so crazed. And it made me think back of like some of the things that we had to have as kids, like a
pet rock.
Yes, exactly. My first example. And it's like, who are we to judge? You know?
Did we? Yeah, I hear you. That's why, like, a part of me was like, I was listening to him give me all of the reasons, and part of it is just all in the presentation. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, listening to him butter me up and sweet talk me and show me the websites he found and justify all the reasons he needed this stupid thing. That was part of fun for me. That was the most conversation we've had all day. So I had to reward him.
Right. Well, I mean, just alone, like his skills for, you know, getting what he wants.
Yes.
He should be rewarded, right?
Yes.
So, but yeah, it's funny. I did order. So I just think that there are people, there's usually a trend that will come out, and then there are people who are on board, and then there are people who are so angry against it. And it's just fascinating to watch the internet go crazy.
I will tell you, I do not care as much about the fidget spinner as much as I did about the flipping water bottle thing. Drives me bananas because kids do it everywhere. I've been hit with the water bottle. Things have been knocked over, cups, vases, like it, you know, I mean, it's insane. And that's not fun for me.
Yeah. The water bottle thing will make you crazy. I'm actually looking up like 80s toys that were, you know, we just had to have them.
Yeah.
But they all seem somewhat useful. But
yeah.
Anyway, except for that pet rock. So what about these unicorn frappuccinos?
Isn't that a thing of the past? Aren't they done?
Yeah. Was that a temporary thing, or was it just so overwhelming that they couldn't even handle it?
No, it was temporary. I mean, I think it was like a limited time offer. So
it was like changing the face of Starbucks. Like it was a nightmare. Like they couldn't even keep them in stock.
I don't like Starbucks, so I'm not much of the only reason why I like going into Starbucks is because they will give me a big girl cup of water. Well, you know, when you go to a store, like I'll just have water and they give you like a little Dixie, like you know, like with your mouthwash after you're brushing your teeth, like the little cups.
They point you to the spigot over there. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so Starbucks is the only one that will give me a huge cup of water and not charge me for it. So I like that. But otherwise, I don't like their coffee. So I didn't partake in did you?
I did not. I'm not a huge Starbucks fan myself, but it was funny that it came out and they're colorful and they were pretty and whatever. But there were so many people who are so angry. And then they're like, there's enough sugar in this drink that it's 2 Snickers bars. Like no one's ever eaten 2 Snickers bars a day in their life. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? It was just so funny that like, I mean, it's a lot of sugar. So is all that stuff though. There's probably things that are on the menu all the time that actually have just as much, if not more sugar in them.
I don't pay any attention. I'm so bad. I don't pay attention to sugar intake.
You don't?
I don't read labels. I don't do it. No.
Yeah.
I don't.
Here I am obsessed. And so clearly I'm going the wrong way.
No, my stepmom, she's the same way. I don't. I have never, we've talked about this a gazillion times. I don't have the time or the patience or the diligence or something else to be that disciplined with everything. I can't. I've never been a dieter. I've never been someone that like will pull, you know, dairy out or sugar out of my diet or carbs. Like I just do things in moderation. So I don't know. I know that if I'm going to eat a bag of chips, that it's probably not good for me. So why do I need to read the bag to know that?
This coming from, Didn't you post recently that you had like jelly beans for dinner or something?
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't need to read the bag to know that what I'm eating is not good for me. I'm smart enough to know. So I don't know. I guess at some point I'm like, what's an extra gram of sugar when I'm like, I don't know. I just don't.
That's funny. Well, I wish I were like you, but I'm not. So, hey, so let's move on. Dating. You know how we like to talk about dating. Bustle.com over there recently conducted a survey. 13,000 people, 24% were men and 76% were women. Just
again, I was not part of the survey.
I know. Oh, they were mostly 62% of them were age 35 or under. But
Oh,
anyway, they
okay.
were talking about the best cities for dating.
Oh.
And so they have a top 10 list of cities for dating. And I'm wondering what you think possibly could be number one. I'll even accept the state if, you know. You don't
I would say the state is, I don't know about the state. I was going to say Seattle.
Oh, that would be a good guess, but no.
Colorado.
Now I'm looking to see if you're just going to start just.
No, I'm thinking because I was like torn between Washington State or Colorado, and then I was thinking,
you know, I'm looking down the list. They're not on either. So number 10, New York. So which I would be kind of surprised. Yeah,
so Chicago, like Midway.
Let's see. Number 9, Houston, Texas.
Really?
8, yeah. Number 8. I know you'd love it there, wouldn't you? Oh no,
I went to Houston. I didn't love it. Yeah.
Number 8, Tampa, Florida. Number 7, Baltimore, Maryland. Number 6, Austin, Texas. I could see you there. I'm like moving you now. Number 5, Washington, D.C. I don't know what these people mean good for dating, but number 4, Charlotte, North Carolina. Number 3, Boston, my hometown. Number 2, San Antonio, Texas. What's up with Texas?
Everything's bigger there.
And number 1, Raleigh, North Carolina. So North Carolina's in there twice. Texas, we got Texas in there a few times.
Well, I was. That's what I'm thinking. I was like middle America. You know, people are cooler.
Yeah.
Unless they vote
cooler how?
What?
Cooler.
I think California's hard. I think LA I think is really hard because we're just so spread out here, and I've always felt that LA is not good for dating.
Yeah.
I would say New York and Chicago. I think big cities. Because people are walking a lot, like there's public transportation, you're out, you know. But I just think like in Texas, like just people are slower pace, just more the values, traditions. I just think, you know, I don't know. Houston surprises me though, because I thought that Houston was more of a business hub. Like Austin, I don't know. I guess I'm not surprised that more of the southern and Midwest or like middle other side of the country.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you're right about LA is terrible.
Yeah.
Because I think that, you know, even like, well, where we live in the suburbs is, you know, you get in your car and then everyone pulls into their garages and their garage door closes and like, you don't even know your neighbors in many parts, you know, never mind public transportation or anything like that.
Right.
So I don't know. So are you going to move to, I'm curious what our Broad Squad feels like, you know, in their city, if it's a good city for dating. So we'll have to ask over there. So head over to Facebook to our Broad Squad group and join us in that conversation. Cause I would love to hear where you live and what dating is like. Cause I think dating kind of sucks everywhere pretty much.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I see. Listen, when it was the big joke of the weekend when I went to Stagecoach that everybody was coupled up and I was like, that guy can get a girl and that girl can get a guy and I got nothing. So you know what?
I guess that guy in the photo. I'm sorry, but you had some photos with the guy in it. Who was that, Kim?
I had 2 pictures. Tim, our friend Tim, and our friend Bobby.
Well, they were handsome. Are they single? I'm calling you out right here.
You always do. Tim is married and Bobby is an old friend. And I think he's newly single. Yeah. Not for me.
No,
not for me. No.
Okay. All right.
No.
What are you gonna do?
Nothing.
Hey, so Trump, I don't know if you've heard of him. He's our president.
What?
Yes, his administration has pulled Michelle Obama's Let Girls Learn program.
Yeah.
She launched that to promote education for girls around the world. And, according to CNN.
Along with the Peace Corps, by the way. I mean, it wasn't just like, it's in conjunction with the program with the Peace Corps.
Oh, yeah. And the United States Agency for International Development. It drew on funding from the private and public sector to promote girls' education in developing countries around the world. In its 2 years of existence, it raised over $1 billion to help girls in over 50 countries.
Mm-hmm.
So
He also went after her food program, her healthy food program too. I think
Oh my God.
I think that's being cut too.
The thing is, like, you and I talk about this sometimes, and, you know, opportunities often as women, you know, sometimes I don't want to speak for you, but it's like, oh, women are complaining. We can't have this and we can't have that. And, you know, sexism and sure, that's there. But I also believe in making your own opportunities and like not whining about it and just like finding a way and keep your nose down and do it, you know, go for it. But oh my God, like how many things are we going to pull away from women and girls who don't necessarily have those programs in place to help them get to the next level?
Well, what's interesting, and I didn't see any numbers yet, so I'm completely speaking without all of the information. But what's not clear is how much money those programs are saving by removing them from the budget. Because if his whole thing is I'm trying to, you know, budget, we don't need to be saving third world countries. Okay, I can appreciate that. But if it's $5 million, is that really making a dent in our $1 trillion budget? So I think that, you know, his whole thing is like, you know, that we shouldn't be putting so much of our effort and our money into helping other countries when we don't do it at home. The problem is that he's also cutting all those programs at home. So when you look at the budget and you look at the impact of some of these things on our fiscal, on our federal budget, it's such a small amount. But the impact is so tremendous that that's the part that doesn't make sense. Like if he was pulling out of our budget a $4 billion program to help women in Haiti, I could kind of get behind that in a sense that like, listen, we've got $4 billion. Why don't we put that money into our educational system here? But that's not what's happening. He's just arbitrarily pulling these programs that have such a small fiscal impact here domestically that I don't understand why, other than it's just to be a douche. I'm
tagline.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like even we talked about this in the show before, that when he was making those cuts to like PBS and the arts and humanity, it was like 0.003% of the budget was going to those programs. So why bother? Like the impact was so tremendous, but the financial impact burden was so small that like it didn't make sense to anybody that to like why were you doing that other than to just be a douche? Because it was a democratic program, you know, and that's partly why. Like, why would you go back and undo the healthy food program? We have an obesity issue in this country. Hello, Trump, you're overweight. Like I don't mean that he medically, they talked about the fact that he's over. We have an obesity issue in this problem. We have a health issue in this problem. And so he's going after an area of our programs and our budget that's actually impacting kids having healthier meals.
Right.
And teaching them how to eat healthy. Like, why would he's pulling that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you know, I briefly touched on this on my Facebook page. I posted a Jimmy Kimmel in his monologue yesterday. I think he was talking about his newborn baby, and he had a little boy was born, Billy, and Billy was born with a heart defect, and they caught it. A nurse caught it in the right after mom gave birth. Baby was turning purple and wasn't breathing right, or she heard a murmur, took him into ICU, and all these doctors came in and they realized that he had a heart issue. And so they had to do emergency surgery. The whole piece was great. I don't want to take away because he did such a beautiful job explaining it. But at the end of the story, he talked about how healthcare shouldn't be viewed down the lines of Democrat or Republican, that everybody wants to be covered. And it shouldn't matter if you have more money than the next person. If you're born with a pre-existing condition, you should be entitled to have health care and not be charged up the wazoo for it. Because Billy, for example, was born with it. He didn't develop it 20 years later. Like,
right.
And so this was this beautiful speech that he gave about how, you know, why does everything have to come down to party lines? If something's working, why wouldn't you just leave it? It doesn't matter if it's party specific.
Because that's what they're doing. That he wants to piss on everything because it's like it shows that he has power. It's like you're already the president,
right?
You know,
who doesn't know why the Oval Office is oval and doesn't understand how come no one's questioned the Civil War in the last 100 years. Like, I mean, he's a buffoon. But anyway, that's not what your point was.
No, but I mean, the point is that he is out there, you know, pulling things like this, and we're at a time that we as women need to work harder and harder and harder to mentor and support these young girls and women who are going to be following in our footsteps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have not been we've discussed this, ad nauseum, but like neither of us have been at any marches, and I don't like hashtag things with not my president or resistance but at the same time, the one thing I think you and I both have in common is we can't just sit there when we feel like someone is being like someone's doing someone else wrong.
Right.
And out there, the things that are happening right now to people who without support otherwise will not be able to live their lives or to be contributing members of society, we have to stand up.
Right. And I guess I just go back to what I've always said. Like, I understand the differences between the two political parties, and one thinks you should have more handouts, one thinks that you should have less. But at some point, don't we just connected and united by the fact that we all just want a decent life? Like, why are we not championing that for each other? Like, I guess I don't understand. So taking away some of these programs that may cost a little bit of money, but if the big picture is that somebody across the world is getting help and assistance, doesn't that make it better for everybody? Like in the long run, that person then is going to, be able to get a better education, get a better job, be a more productive member of society, pay taxes, pay into social security. Like it all comes around full circle.
Right.
So why would you cap someone at the knees at such a young age when they don't have resources? I get that maybe you don't want to keep supporting someone in their 50s who's just can't pull it together and, is old enough to know better and blah, blah, blah. And we don't want to keep doing, having programs recycle people that can't make own decisions. But when you're 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, and you don't have a system in place that provides, stability and accountability and resources for you to get going in your life, why is that a bad thing? I don't get it. And it hurts my heart. Like,
you're absolutely right.
And I don't care if it's here or if it's in another country. Like we're all in this together. Like forgetting about Democrat or Republican. Like and that's the part that bothers me so much. That it always comes down to these stupid. I'm a Democrat, or a snowflake, or liberal, or like just we're people. We are people.
Right. And it's funny because people use the word liberal like it's like the F word. I mean, it's just the way it's thrown around. But I agree with you in that. I don't necessarily think we should be able to sign up for help and then live off that help forever. I think there should be programs in place to help you get on your own 2 feet. I think there are people, young adults aging out of foster care who have no idea how to navigate the world. And you know what? Maybe they could use a little bit of help, but they should have been getting like if you have kids in foster care, they should be getting this guidance and these programs to kind of teach them how to navigate the world before they leave. Not just dump them out into society when they have no skills.
Well, I think this is where I get to be a little bit conservative or a little bit more Republican thinking. Like I absolutely agree with that as well. But I think our programs to help people are broken. I think that people can live off of it forever and there's no accountability. But I also don't understand just the random arbitrary picking of what to get rid of without doing research, without doing a case study, without making minor adjustments to see if limiting welfare, reducing it by 2 years or putting something other than radically changing a program which leaves people in the dust. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't have figured it out by then. But if we're a country that has, enabled people for a long time, I don't think it's right also to then just completely kick them out and if we haven't given them any resources because then we weren't doing our job all the way along. Right. I don't know. That's a long sentence, but
Right. But I mean,
I'm frustrated.
I think, in life, when you say you have a job and that I take on projects, right? So I know what the end date is usually. And so I have to kind of, and I'm not comparing myself to somebody who doesn't necessarily have the same opportunities in life. But I do believe that almost everyone can get up and say, hey, this job is ending, or, hey, this unemployment, which is X amount of weeks, I need to actually make sure that I have some work by then. And if I don't, I need to then show back up at unemployment and show them the efforts I have made,
Right.
to secure employment. And so there's such it's not a one size fits all, but there has to be.
But unemployment is, and maybe this is what you're saying, but unemployment is a perfect example. There is a limit to how long you can be on unemployment, regardless if you've been trying to get a job or not. There is a limit. And so if you haven't figured out something within that limit, you're done. Like, you shouldn't be able to live off of unemployment indefinitely.
I thought, well, I don't know enough about it, but I thought you had to show proof that you were interviewing and get signed off and things like that. So,
Oh, I don't remember. I only remember that I had unemployment for as long as I was at my job before I paid into it. And then when my benefits ran out, I was done.
Right. Yeah.
Regardless if I've been trying to work or not, because it doesn't matter. Why should I don't know. But it's the same thing with welfare. If you, and I don't know all the rules of welfare, but it's the same thing. Like, we allow people to stay on welfare, continue to have children and apply for Medicaid and or Medi-Cal, whatever one it is, not have job interviews, like no resource fair, like you just live off the fat of the land. I don't agree with that.
Right.
I agree. I think that if you are benefiting from state programs, city programs, whatever it is, that there should be checks and balances so that it teaches you to be accountable, and that those are inherent skills that you need to be successful once those programs end. And I don't think that we as a country are successful in that regard. But if we haven't been successful in setting people up to succeed, I don't think it helps us to then just pull the program out from under them without any warning, because I don't think that's right either. Like,
Right.
I don't know if that's making sense, but
no, it does. And the funny thing is, look at us. We don't always agree, and look at it. We're like, holding hands and kumbaya, because But I think the worst thing that they could do is start pulling away programs and not just fixing them.
Yeah.
And that's definitely. So we have to take a quick break. We will be right back with BROADScast.
Subscribe to BROADScast on iTunes.
Hey, everybody. So Ebates.com, Kim, you are a convert and a lover of Ebates.com.
Oh, this is my time to tell my story. So
Yes.
Ebates, long before I met you, or long before we did BROADScast, I signed up for Ebates because everybody was talking about it, and I kept thinking I did it wrong because I didn't understand what I was doing. And then you reminded me that we have a partnership with Ebates, so I did it again and still felt like I did it wrong. And then like last month, I ended up with how much I took? It was like a $15 check. I'm like, wait, I guess I did it right. So it's super easy, despite the fact that I didn't know what I was doing. That's
so
how easy it is.
Even
I
can do it.
It's not hard. I didn't, it was so easy. I didn't realize that I was doing it because I guess I thought that it would take more steps and I'd have to do more things.
Right.
And because I didn't, it was easy, as my point. Like my point is you don't have to register for 15 different things, and it's just you go through Ebates, pick the company or the business that you want to buy from and purchase, and then a check appears later.
Yeah. You can either go on your computer, Ebates.com, or you can go on to the app, right? So like I'm on the app now, and let's see, I could go to like Bloomingdale's, which I won't. You can even go onto eBay, or I'm picking Groupon. So 6% cash back. So I'm hitting Groupon. I go over to Groupon. I buy, it's a Mama Ramba sale, which we also have links to Groupon, which we'll share. But, they've got price cuts on all these. So I shop, I find something, and then I don't have to do anything else other than purchase the way I normally would. I just went through the Ebates website, and so then you get the cash back. So every month, I'm now at a point where every month I get a little check. And so like whether it's date night,
get a little check for you. Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, yeah. I need to never sing on the air. So, so I get a little check. So all you have to do is go to BROADScast.com/Ebates. Got a little page there. We'll tell you what to do. It's super duper easy. And then we also, by going through our link, you're supporting our show. So we thank you for that.
Wow. Well, congratulations for your checks, and congratulations for all of you other listeners that are going to sign up and get money back for.
Yes. And what's the bonus part is that if you then share the link, you get your own personal link when you sign up. Mm-hmm. You share it with friends. You can get up to like refer to friends and get a $50 bonus.
Oh,
So there's like, it's a nice little side hustle.
it's a little side dish.
Little side dish, yes. So another way you can support BROADScast, and we are so very grateful to our supporters over there, like Julie and I'm gonna come up with the other one. John, thank you. And you can head over to patreon.com/BROADScast, patreon.com/BROADScast, and you can actually like sponsor us for $1 a month or $5 or whatever it is that you have, or $0 if and just share. But it's a way to support the show and help us out, and so we can bring you more and more great content.
Right.
And Jill, suddenly your name is Jill.
Me?
Kim over here is does a little dance for you over on the Patreon page.
Oh, right, I do.
So
oh my God.
If that doesn't earn us $1 a month, I don't know what will.
Oh, just $1.
Just
$1.
Yeah.
$1.
So you can do that over there. So anyway, coming up next week, we've got our Mother's Day special, and we would love to hear from you. Kim, tell them what they've won.
They have won an opportunity to call into the show, or to leave a message for a woman, a mom, an aunt, someone that you think is a kick-ass mama, to leave messages for somebody else and nominate someone. We like to do shows that highlight the kickassery of moms across the world. So we've had such great shows in the past, and we always like to make sure that we highlight some special people that have changed lives, whether it's our own or people that that have made a difference in your life, or just someone that you don't think gets enough credit for a job well done. We had kids call in, our kids actually.
Yes.
So we have a phone number that I know Jackie's going to repeat because I can't remember what it is, but you can leave a message. You can go to our BROADScast page on Facebook. You can nominate somebody. You can send us an email at broads@broadscast.com and tell us the name of someone. Tell us why you think they should be nominated as a kick-ass mom, and we will figure out how to feature them on our upcoming show.
Yes. So whether you want to, like Kim said, have somebody featured as on the show, or you just want to send them a little message that will roll in some messages to moms, the number's 310-570-2922. Again, 310-570-2922. Or you can email us at broads@broadscast.com, which you said. So that's exciting.
It is exciting.
And I just love, it'll be a smorgasbord of awesomeness.
It will be. It usually
mom
is.
awesomeness.
Yeah.
So,
momassery. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
we'll just spend the entire hour turning regular words into having mom in it. That'll be the whole show. It'll be mom-rageous.
It's going to be out mom standing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's it for today's show, because clearly we've
run out of,
But again, email us broads@broadscast.com. Call our hotline at 310-570-2922 and head on over to Facebook to our Broad Squad group and join us in more conversation. And we will catch you next week for the Mother's Day episode.
Peace out.
You are listening to BROADScast. For more from the Broads, head to broadscast.com.